Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Push Forward podcast. I'm your host, Alex, and today we're talking about the topic that is often overlooked, but can be a game changer in your career. Keeping up with your LinkedIn profile is what we're talking about. That's right. We'll guide you on how to harness the power of LinkedIn, from building your profile to sharing content, managing contacts, and much more. All right, let's get started. So let's start with building your profile. The first step to maximizing LinkedIn is creating a strong profile. Make sure that you have a professional photo and a compelling headline. I'm not a fan of creating headshots using AI, but there are many apps out there that are able to do that. Here's why. When people meet you face to face on a Zoom call or in person, if your photo looks nothing like you, it feels like it's a little misleading, right? So don't forget to buff up your about section, make that your elevator pitch, okay? But ultimately LinkedIn profile is like your online resume. So you got to make it count. There are many sections on LinkedIn personal profile that I see many people leave out. And what I think it does is if you send your someone sends you a connection request, or maybe you have your LinkedIn profile shared with someone or via email, and they go to your profile. So they go there and they read your first name and title. And let's say you have your uh, headshot, but then let's say you have an empty cover photo. So you have nothing in the cover photo. So it tells me that you're not looking at that. And let's say I scroll down and I look at featured content, and you've got no featured content. And activity, no activity. The about section, maybe you have something in the about section. But then I go to the experience section and you have, I don't know, 4 or 5 jobs, even though you've had 20 jobs in your career, and you don't post all of them. And then you don't even post you don't add the different sections to each job, like the title, the company, the how long you worked there, where you worked there, and what you did there. If those sections are not in there, it just tells me that I don't know that about you and I need to know more. So it leaves me scratching my head. Education. If you decide that you're not going to put in education, it also makes me think, well, what happened with your education? And then there are other sections like volunteering, the skills section, recommendations. You should be giving people recommendations that you work with, as well as people giving you. So ask for recommendations, because these are basically your personal reviews. If you have any publications or patents, put that in there. Courses, honors, awards, and then languages, of course. And last but not least, your interest in causes. Now, these are all different areas within LinkedIn that you can have visible or not visible by going to your settings. So the settings is very important, because you don't want all your connections to see who your other network connections are, right? Now let's talk about sharing content. Sharing valuable sharing valuable content sets you apart from your competition. If you're an expert in your field, guess what? You should be sharing content. You could write articles, share industry news, even do a newsletter right within LinkedIn. You have carousels where you can upload it as a PDF, and of course, videos. You don't have to be there daily. Some people are there daily. They're posting 5-10 times a day. That I don't understand why you would do that. But at least sharing once a week, a bare minimum, is going to keep you at top of mind in front of your network. Now, your work doesn't have to be thousands. Let's say your network is 300 people. That's okay. But you want to keep them informed, because after all, LinkedIn is a B2B platform, not a social media platform that you're there to just have fun. You're there because you want to know what's going on with people you work with, people you do business with. So about that, managing your network and your contacts. It's not just about adding as many people as you can, as I said. It's really about creating those meaningful connections. So for me, I use the My Network tab to track my connections and stay in touch with them. And it's a network, so it's not, again, a numbers game. So what I do is I look at the people that I do have done business with, continue to do business with, and if their birthday comes up or their position changes, I make sure that I comment on their post. And I'm doing this only once a week. Now, I will warn you in terms of outsourcing your LinkedIn. I have done this in the past, not only to people in my organization, to employees, but I've also outsourced it to virtual assistants. I find that it does not work. It does not work for me because a lot of the conversations in the messaging area are personal. And I feel like that's not fair to the people that I do business with. So I manage my LinkedIn myself. And I think that that's something that everybody should take into consideration. I would never give my LinkedIn access to anybody that's going to do outreach. Why? Because when you're doing outreach, they can actually get you banned from LinkedIn because they're going to basically spam everyone. So those, what they call lead generation programs or campaigns by others that are overseas, it doesn't work. What they're gonna do is, yes, they're gonna generate 5 good leads out of 1,000 contacts, but they're gonna piss off 995 other people that can also get you banned from LinkedIn. So for me, it's not worth the 5 leads. And also, you're gonna pay an arm and a leg to generate these leads. It's a lot like cold calling, right? Cold calling, you could say it works, but it works for the leads that you got. But what about all the other people you pissed off? So to me, it's not something that I recommend anyone doing. Now, for messaging, it is powerful, but it's a very limited messaging tool. So what I try to do is I try to message people and then from there move the conversation over to email. So I'll give them my email or a phone number. So whether it's for a job inquiry or for collaboration, a simple introduction, obviously a well-crafted message can definitely open doors. So don't just click connect with everyone. Send a message too. Be clear, be concise, and be respectful when you slide into those direct messages. One thing that I've done that works very well, I don't know why more people are not using it, is the microphone. So if you have the app on your phone, you can just click the little microphone and send an audio voicemail. So that to me works very well too. Groups has changed. It used to be a great opportunity for networking, but the groups these days is not as meaningful as it used to be. So many people have moved over to platforms like Discord, Telegram, Signal, and WhatsApp. So groups, I have mixed feelings on those, right? And then for hiring and for finding jobs, I find it to be very good platform for that because you can post, you have the free option to post a job. So when I'm looking for someone, then my whole network knows it. And then as far as if I know someone that's looking for a job, it's a great way to put in that little banner that says I'm looking for a job, right? So hire me. It's a great way to be able to let people know that you're looking for a job. You're a job seeker. So you use that open to work feature to let recruiters also know that you're available. And then if you're a hiring manager or a business owner, and you can post the job openings and then use those other filters that exist within the app. Very powerful. I've used it over the years and I've been able to hire many people successfully and grab those resumes where sometimes I put a job post and within a few days I've got hundreds of candidates and I'm able to sort them and give them different stars and pass on some and keep others. I find the app to be very user friendly. So it's sort of like having ZipRecruiter, but also the social component to it, or Monster, or any of the other ones, Indeed as well. So I like LinkedIn definitely when hiring people. Now, as a sales professional, Sales Navigator is a premium feature. It costs it starts at $99 a month, but it is worth every penny if your focus is sales and lead generation. It offers a lot of advanced search filters and real-time insights, amongst other things. So I'm able to really sort and do deep data analysis on my ICP, my ideal customer profile. And so for those of you who are in the creator world, I think when you get to the point where you're doing partnerships, affiliate partnerships, backlink partnerships, a lot of those opportunities, you can find more of the people that you are already working with by using Sales Navigator. Now you can get it free for 30 days. So it's an easy win there. And believe me, if you start to use it, you won't want to work without it. It's well worth the $1,200 a year for the basic package. And then when it comes to advertising, that one I have mixed feelings on, because for those of you who are in marketing and have done digital advertising like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, you obviously YouTube and Google, LinkedIn's advertising platform offers a lot of features for you to do a really targeted campaign, because you could choose the audience, build your audience not only by the demographics but also by those specialty uh, labels within the psychographics, such as job title, role, industry, the size of the company. So there are filters that exist in LinkedIn for audiences that you won't find on Facebook and that you won't find on Google Ads, right? So with your business account, you can definitely target those users by job title, company, industry, and more. And that's very powerful. The only drawback I will say is that the cost. The cost to run ads on LinkedIn versus Facebook, in my experience, LinkedIn costs anywhere between 7 to 10 times the cost for the same, not, I won't say the same click. Obviously, it's a different user, but for a click, if I'm driving one user to my website, if it can cost between $7 and $10, and the same user on Facebook, or similar user is going to cost you, $1. So again, it's expensive, but then again, if especially if you're doing B2B, then this is, LinkedIn is definitely something to consider. But I wouldn't count LinkedIn out, even if your target audience is B2C. I talked recently to a makeup artist, and she's actually hairstylist and makeup artist, and she has a salon down in Miami. And she says, well, why would I be on LinkedIn? It's all business people and I'm not there. And I really said, okay, well, let's go do this. And we get on LinkedIn, and I start to look at the number of connections that she could have, because she wasn't even on LinkedIn. So she could look at partnerships, when wedding planners who have businesses are looking for those stylists, they may be looking on LinkedIn because they want those business connections. You have corporate groups that come in, convention centers, you have, movie studios, you have music producers, you have a lot of business owners, people who run different agencies, that when they're looking on LinkedIn, if you approach them that way, or even if they've already received your name and number as a referral, what if they go over to LinkedIn and you have no presence there? Now they have to do extra work to go learn more about those sections that we talked about, which is the About You section, your experience, your education, all the content that you're doing. So even if you are in a lifestyle brand type of business, or you're a creator, having your LinkedIn can absolutely help you drive more business with professional relationships, right? And so I definitely think that if you're not on LinkedIn, you are 100% missing out. That's it for today's episode, guys. LinkedIn is more than just a job searching platform. It's a versatile tool that, when used correctly, can elevate your career and your business to new heights. So go there, update that profile, share some content, and start networking like a pro. Thanks for joining us for today's episode of the Push Forward podcast. As always, if you found value in today's episode, don't forget to rate us, review us, and subscribe. Until next time, keep pushing forward.